Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next The Rise of Kyoshi chapter analysis video. This one's going to be for chapter 24, which is called The Face of Tradition. A quick summary of this chapter is basically that it's the Flying Opera Company arriving on the scene to meet up with Mach ahead of the raid, of course. And there's just a little bit of back and forth here, a bit of an incident that happens, of course. It's a callback to a previous scene, but we'll get into it. And then after that, it's, of course, the direct preparation. And for the Flying Opera Company, that means putting their faces on. It means putting on the makeup that they were kind of known for, and explaining, you know, what's the makeup for that was in Kyoshi's trunk all those chapters ago. And yes, as you would expect, it is Kyoshi putting on this makeup for the first time and finally, I suppose, becoming the visual of Kyoshi that we know, and this is the first time that she puts it all together here. So a pretty nice scene here, but let's get into it here. So yeah, they arrive at at Mach's camp here just to meet up with him, and the only real thing to talk about before they directly talk to him is just that they do notice that most of his army is made of these guys that are basically the fanatics, and they're mentioned as being the Kangshen sect. They're non-benders who believe that performing secret purification ceremonies will make them immune to the elements. Mach must have recruited a bunch of them to serve as his front line. Kyoshi notes that it's madness, they're going to get slaughtered if Tei has any earthbenders in his guards. But these are just meant to be the guys who do basically just get hit right at the front. So he's put the kind of crazy people at the front, the fanatics, and ultimately the Flying Opera Company isn't particularly focused on them because they're not going to be part of the main battle force. They're the stealth team kind of going in from the side. But they meet up with Mach, and he immediately gets to asking them about, oh, like, I didn't get to say farewell to you last time out because the whole Shirshu incident happened. And he points at basically Rangi and Kyoshi. It's like, it's a coincidence that, like, that beast arrived, like, just after you guys left. You know, what's up with that? Lek actually speaks up again here. We don't know anything about that, Uncle. Kyoshi and Rangi aren't to blame. And of course, remember the last time Lek spoke out of turn a few chapters ago when we first met Mach? He had Wei basically cut Lek's hand in the show of example. Wei attacks Lek again here for also speaking out of turn, but this time Kyoshi is prepared. So we get the description here. In one swift motion, she caught Wei's knife hand before it reached Lek, pinned it to the desk by his wrist, and drew her fan with her other hand. She kept the heavy weapon closed as she smashed it like a hammer on Wei's fingers, breaking them in a single blow. So she just says, like, oh, I saw a poisonous insect and thought I needed to save your lives. But if you feel they're inappropriate, he can teach me the meaning of discipline on the Lei Tai after our mission is over. So that's the challenge platform. And of course, this show of, like, dominance from Kyoshi, he's not going to challenge her after what's just happened. So this is Kyoshi kind of impressing everyone here. And Mach is kind of impressed at the progress that she's shown since the last time. And this basically gets them back on track. Suddenly Mach is distracted, he's more focused on the raid, he's not asking about the whole Shirshu incident anymore. This is where they bring up the whole idea of, you know, the plan heading in here that, you know, if we go in too early, they might kill the hostage and stuff like that. But pretty much they just get straight back into the preparation for it. So there's 2 sticks of incense, and this is so that both teams, by the time they burn down, attack at the exact same time. And he just wants to get straight down to it. So we attack in 1 hour, and that's what the sticks of incense are meant to show. So yeah, they head off, and this is the final preparation. So they have this 1 hour to prepare, and this is where we get the face of tradition scene, basically, what the title's referring to. So they all decide that they're going to put on our faces. It's tradition before a job. Lek mentions that he's out, and this is where Kyoshi mentions that, like, oh, I have makeup, is this what you're talking about? And so Wong takes it out, and it's revealed that, like, yeah, okay, this is exactly the right sort of stuff. And this is the white and red face paint, and she asked the question of, like, what's the deal with that? And it's explained, those are our colors. White symbolizes treachery, a sinister nature, suspicion of others, and the willingness to visit evil deeds upon them. But red symbolizes honor, loyalty, heroism. This is the face that we show our sworn brothers and sisters. The red is the trust that we have for each other, buried in the field of white, but also showing through in our gaze. And yeah, Kyoshi lets him put this on. And so the final scene is the makeup job is finished, and Kirima decides to complete Kyoshi's look by also having Kyoshi wear her mother's headdress. So again, this has been brought up before that this was also in the case, but Kyoshi's never put it on. Kirima says it right here, "You're wearing your mother's face, so you should wear her crown as well." And it's put on. She gets up and asks everyone, "How do I look?" And the response from Rangi is like, "I'm not thrilled you're wearing Daofei colors, but you look beautiful. You look terrifying," Lek added. So Kyoshi's impressed by this. This is perfect. This is exactly the sort of look that she wants, and of course, it's this look. So we get the explanation for this, that it is like it's a Daofei color scheme. This is the color scheme of the Flying Opera Company. It's theater makeup, you know, that fits in with the whole idea of it, and then the idea is that it's, you know, red symbolizing sort of loyalty in a field of treachery. That's why it's sort of on the eyes, and it is the red is the kind of representation of the way you treat, you know, your brothers in the Daofei and so on. So that's a nice explanation of the face paint. And at this point, basically almost every aspect of Kyoshi's look is explained. There's only one thing really that's covered in the chapters left to be covered, but we'll get to that. It relates to the plot stuff that's about to happen. But yeah, that is the chapter here. There's not too much to talk about here. It's just two quick scenes of just meeting Mok and then everyone putting the face paint on. I like that they did devote a chapter to this because the face paint is such an integral part of the look that getting, you know, having Kyoshi wear it for the first time as they go into their first job, it's a very important one, and this is the look fully coming together here for Kyoshi. She knows how to use the fans now. She's already wearing the sort of green, sort of armored stuff that she has, and it's right here. This is Kyoshi, and they're heading into the battle now. And the next chapter is a pretty long one. It is the raid. It's that whole thing basically happening, and pretty much from here on out, like this was chapter 24, so this is the 3/4 point of the book. We're 75% of the way through the book now. The remaining quarter is just pretty much all-out action. We just transitioned from one big thing to the next, all the way to the end of the book here. So there's a lot of really, really cool stuff still to come. And that's pretty amazing that so much has happened already. But there's still so much of the big, big, big events to come. That we have the raid coming. We're, of course, going to get a Jianzhou showdown at some point. And they managed to have so much more happen along the way. So really, really good stuff. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this chapter, chapter 24, The Face of Tradition. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts were on this chapter. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.